Hi, guess who? That's right, you're right. Coming back at you for my second of 3 trailer reviews today, which I'm going to try to stay more on topic. If you watched the last trailer review I did for the very first teaser trailer for Batman vs. Superman, I kind of was distracted by birds and maybe just my own psychotic mind and just kind of went on a ramble. So I guess I'm starting to do that right now. So with no further ado, I'm here to I'm going to try not to do that this time. I'm here to review the trailer, the second trailer for what I call Terminator Genisys, which of course is Terminator Genisys spelt, incorrectly. I just think that's so kind of stupid, but whatever. Who needs to spell things correctly anyway? So, on to my review for the second trailer for Terminator Genisys. I've reviewed, please feel free to check out my review for the first trailer, which I did when that came out. I can't remember what I said in that trailer review, but I guess that doesn't matter because I'm here to talk about the second trailer. Oh my gosh. So anyway, this was kind of garbled mess, kind of. And I think that it's weird. It's almost like I have to put a spoiler review in this trailer review if you haven't seen this trailer, because in my opinion, there's like a huge spoiler. There's all kinds of, but we'll just say there's one huge spoiler in the second trailer of Terminator Genisys, aka Genisys. That's just my little name for it. Which is, tell you what, trailer makers, here's a little bit of advice for you. When you're making a trailer, don't put in like one of the biggest, probably what would end up being one of the biggest, hugest, most surprisingest plot pointedness of the whole damn movie. Don't put it in the trailer, which of course is, if you haven't seen the trailer number 2 and don't want to know, stop this video now. 3, 2, 1. It's like, apparently we find out in this second trailer that John has become, some kind of machine-human hybrid, and we don't know, pardon me, we don't know if he's like, the second trailer kind of shows that he might be like a bad guy, and it's just like, oh, fuck me. I really, like, when the second trailer to this movie was over, I was like, it's like literally they're getting like just middle school kids to make summer blockbusters now. That's what it completely and totally feels like. First of all, this asshole from the most recent Die Hard movie, I can't remember what the hell it's called, when they stopped putting just numbers at the end of them, I can't remember which one's which anymore. Just, we'll say the most recent Die Hard movie where this guy plays John McClane's son. It's just like frickin' the most bland, blah, boring fucking guy. It's just like, oh, Terminators went back in time to kill my mother before the war started. He's like, let me save her. I've loved her my whole life. It's just like, you can remember the line, but don't give it any goddamn, character or emotion in it. I added that second part. That's what Kyle Reese said, of course, in the first movie. Like, right before the sex scene, I came back in time for you, Sarah. I love you. I always have. This is how that guy would say, I came back in time for you, Sarah. I love you. I've always have. That's actually better than probably he'd say it, but I come away with, one of the things I come away with in this trailer is like all the leads, like, the Sarah Connor girl and this Kyle Reese guy, like those two seem like they're just going to have 0% acting ability whatsoever. And just the traditional, 21st century, second decade of the 21st century, just summer blockbuster, no characters, just like that god-awful Godzilla movie last year. Just with, everyone's just weepy and cry, and no one's got a fucking personality, and then that horrible, nod to Terminator 2, like extended cut, where it's like, pleased to meet you. And she's like, oh, we're trying to make him fit in better. I can't do a smile as lame as the smile he does in the trailer. We're working on it. It's just like this whole movie, anything good about this movie is just rehashed shit from like one of the first two movies. It's just like in a lame thing which we got a glimpse of in the first trailer of the Terminator being there already at Griffith Observatory when the Terminator from 84, right, maybe, shows up and he's like, I've been waiting for you. And it's just like, yeah, apparently for like 30 years, judging by your age. This one we see at the very end of the trailer, of course, we see a tidbit of this, what I presume to be just CG fight between CG 84 Arnold and probably CG 2015 Arnold. It's just like, you know, I don't even need to be in the movie anymore. They pay me for my likeness and I smoke a cigar and fucking screw my maids and I'm making the money and they use my likeness. This is great. So it's just like, what does anyone say about this? Actually see a lot of what we saw in the first trailer, which I think is kind of weird, and anything else that we saw, the first trailer in my opinion is better. Anything more that we saw in this trailer is just like slap your face kind of, oh frick. I don't know why I just didn't swear, I guess. I didn't feel it right there, but frick, you know. Just before I end, I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I mean, shit, you know. The biggest things that stick out, of course, is that lame attempt at just recycling the extended cut of T2 smile thing, which was, you know, I guess it was more funny in T2 because it was brand new, and now it's just completely lame. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is Arnold's acting as the Terminator just seems lame. It's like he's doing a Saturday Night Live, you know, a parody of himself as the Terminator. It's just like, I don't know, man. You know, maybe not every line, like, but like, just pleased to meet you. But I guess he's supposed to be doing that stupid, you know, fitting in mode or whatever. But, oh, another thing I want to not forget to mention is that, like, towards the end when you see him, like, Arnold on the ground, like, I don't know, we gotta save him or whatever, and we see, like, of course, is it always the same side that gets, like, ripped off? It seems like it. You know what? It looks like in that shot that you know, in the good old days they did makeup for the, you know, the skin and stuff coming off, and I think T3 was the very first time at the very end when he came out of the plane where it was like CG, you know, makeup, if you will. It looks like in that shot towards the end of the trailer where it's just like they don't even bother putting makeup. It's just like this lame ass CG makeup of his skin ripped off his face, and maybe they don't do, you know, any makeup. Maybe it's all CG makeup. I don't know. But I think that might pretty much cover everything. Like, the acting looks horrid in that shot where they're on the Golden Gate Bridge and his head goes through the policeman's windshield, and it looks just completely like the only thing that's real in that shot, if this is even real, is Arnold's head, and you know, and he's just in a green room, and they just like, it looks so digital, and like everything is like CG, like the windshield, and it's just like, and he does the famous joke where it's just like his head gets smashed through the windshield and he's like, get out, you know, of the police car, and it's just like, you know, this second trailer really makes it look like I say, like they just randomly chose some freaking middle school in the United States of America and said, okay kids, you know, we're gonna draw straws and whoever wins gets to write and direct this fucking Terminator movie. And they even get to name, you know, write the title, and that's why the title is spelt wrong. I mean, I understand, you know, this SYS, I understand it. I just think it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's like toys backwards are us. It's like, I don't know why I have such a problem with that. I guess just because. I got a bitch about something. I think I pretty much covered it. I think all it is recycling, like I say, beats from, you know, like best of beats and shit from the first two movies. You know, you got that bit on the second trailer where Sarah Connor's shooting out the back of a truck, or just like at the end of T2, and oh my gosh. You know, am I going to see it? Probably 2D, super duper matinee cheap showing just so I can have something else to complain about. But I gotta tell you, one thing I like, and I hope the storyline goes this way, because obviously there's like a gray-haired Terminator in this movie. I thought that in the very first trailer there's this shot where it's like we see like presumably the Terminator holding some girl, and we see the back of the guy's head, but the girl's facing us, walking away from something. She's sad. It would be the coolest thing. I hope this happens. I will give them writing props for if this happens. I'm gonna end my trailer review with this point. If this movie happens where that gray-haired Terminator, who ends up gray-haired like in present day, goes back and like starts protecting Sarah Connor when she's a little girl, and she spends like, you know, however many years, 30 years or whatever, 20 years or 15 years or 10 years, whatever the fuck it is, with the Terminator. It would be so cool if that happened, and that would explain, of course, because I have no problem with like the fact that, like Arnold said, well, Terminator's age, it's human flesh and human hair, so they age just like anyone else does. So to me, like, the only way you can get away with this movie is like any non-CG Arnold has to just have been like activated, 30 years later than the Arnolds the Arnold that was like in T1 and whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that gray-haired Terminator, and you know what would be super cool, and they better do it, is because sometimes he's got gray hair when he jumps out of the plane and a helicopter, and sometimes he doesn't. I want to see two different Arnold Terminators in this movie. One that's been with Sarah the whole time, and then another one which, maybe is 5 years younger and doesn't have gray hair yet or whatever. But I will give them props if they do that, which I'm hopefully, based on that one brief shot in the first trailer of someone holding a young girl, that would be cool. I would give them props. But everything else, just like Terminator, 2015 battling 84 Terminator, Griffith Observatory, is just like, oh gosh, and that huge spoiler, of course, of John Connor being, human machine hybrid, whatever. Feel free. That's the end of my review for Terminator Genisys. Feel free to leave your comments, what your thoughts. I mean, there's really no right or wrong answer, regarding anyone's feelings towards this, as much as some people would like to think there is. This is all just my opinion, and this is before I end, this is a what do you call it? Vintage 19. I'm pretty sure it's 19. Maybe it came out in 92. May have came out in 92 or 93, but it's a vintage Terminator 2 toy, which is actually a motion. Sorry, you don't get to hear it. It's a motion activated, or I don't think. I can't remember. At any rate, it's got sounds. If there were batteries in there, he says shit or whatever. It's really kind of, if you look at it close, it's really not very detailed and it's pretty lame. But I had it and I figured it kind of something's told. It's just, I don't know. I just thought I'd go with this review. So this review went way too long, but that's my right as being an American. I can do whatever I want, and that's kind of a joke. I mean, we can't. We can't do whatever we want. We can do as, we're only as free as the government lets us be. But that's another topic. Thank you very much for watching this review, and be sure to catch my next trailer review, which is going to be another review of a trailer. Thanks for watching.